Human history in the blink of an eye. The peopling of the world in the blink of an eye. But you have to see certain patterns, and these patterns are interconnected. So you see this gyre. Let's say it starts with the Peru current. It is the current that Thor Heyerdahl rafted down until the Solomons Islands. Not sure what that is, but that's somewhere in Polynesia, here or here. It was 100 days with a raft, basically without sailing, without rowing, and without a rudder, just rafting. The speed of this current will depend on time of the year, etc. So not sure if he chose the fastest period. Talking about Thor Heyerdahl. So in Chile, in front of Chile is Easter Island. In Chile, you have the oldest mummies. In Peru or in Chile, I'm not sure, we have the oldest pyramids, probably more like ziggurats of the world. So anyhow, we also have a population marker. It is millions of years old, and it's human. So that should say enough. That should tell us that humans exist for millions of years. And the marker has the highest frequency. Let's keep it simple. It's in the Amazon forest, but it's on the side of Peru, Ecuador, and Colombia. So this current takes it to Polynesia, Micronesia, etc., Melanesia, also to Australia. In fact, it takes it to Mungu Lake, which is more or less here, which has human fossils, male, female, probably more, of 50 to 60,000 years ago that don't make sense to come from Africa by feet. So it makes a lot of sense to come from here. And it's confirmed by plant genetics. It's confirmed by Ancestral-Markers, and it's confirmed by Ancestor-Markers like PV92, like signal Y, like population Y. So you can find it here in Peru, Ecuador, and Colombia. And the currents take it to places where they reappear, amongst others in Australia, in Polynesia. As far as there's other places, there's even Central America. But that's for later. That's already mixed with other currents, gyres. So it goes as far as Andaman Islands, which belong to India. You even see that the current connects it to India. This is Sulawesi. This island with the two legs, and with the tail, so to speak. It has fossils of over 1 million years old. And it always was, even in the ice ages, separated from Iceland, Indonesia, in fact from Sundaland. That was connected to Eurasia, and Eurasia is connected to Africa. So anyhow, Sulawesi is an island, always was an island. And we find fossils of over 1 million years old. In Java, we find at least 30 Homo erectus that never had their DNA sequence, so it can turn out to be modern humans. Just like Jebel Ehud, Neanderthal turned out to be modern human, even without sequencing its DNA. So it's impossible to walk to Sulawesi, New Zealand, Australia, from Africa, or anywhere else, except from the island itself. But it's totally possible by rafting, Thor Heyerdahl, rafted without paddling, without activity, just by the currents. So by the currents, but especially if you would partially sail or row, and especially if you would navigate, you could arrive in all these places with these mysterious old fossils of over 1 million years old. Obviously, China, that has in the Yangtze River, which is connected to this gyre, has fossils of over 1 million years old. You could reach from the same origins, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, you could reach all the time. There's very old fossils and artifacts in Japan, in Korea. So all of them could be reached by the second Pacific current, but departing from these places, obviously also departing from other places. The mysterious Easter Islands and Hawaii can be reached by these currents, even by simple rafting. I'm not saying they didn't row or sail. I think they did. But just rafting would solve. Circling around would explain that markers from the Amazon forest end up in Australia, in Polynesia, in India. So it's a pattern. And especially if you add it up with a second pattern, which in fact is just the same, is mirrored around the equator. So the same way, you have this gyre, and you have the extended gyre. So from anywhere in the northeast of Brazil and South America, you can reach Central America, you can reach Florida, Mississippi, the East Coast, and you can reach Northern Europe, Atlantic facades, Gibraltar, north of Africa. And you know that here is the 310,000 year fossil. So they can come from the same places because Peru, Ecuador, and Colombia have Amazon forest, and Amazon forest flows to Belém, to this current. So thirdly, from Peru, Ecuador, and Colombia, you can reach both sides, all sites that have the oldest fossils in the world. And please remember that the oldest mummies come from Chile, but you also have them in Peru and other places. And the oldest pyramids come from Peru or Chile, not so sure. Anyhow, Peru itself has overland connections between the Andes, let's say Titicaca Lake and other lakes, right to the Amazon. The Titicaca Lake flows to the Amazon, to this current. So if here ends up something from South America, you understand why. That is just another pattern. If in South Africa something pops up, you know it's the mirror of this northern one. So all mysterious, unexplicable, at least by consensus, unexplicable places, all fossils, are all explained by 1, 2, 3, 4 gyres. That's it. That's the human history, and that's the peopling of the world. For instance, R1 was present in North America. R1 has as descendants R1b and R1a, and R1a is a dominant haplogroup in Europe. So you have the daughters or the children, and you have the parents. So you know where Europeans came from. This particular migration and turnover was only 4,500 years ago. It's quite different from over 1 million years ago here and over 1 million years ago here. So I connected the oldest migrations, populations, and the most important recent one, 4,500 years ago, because R1b and R1a are the dominant haplogroup amongst 8 billion modern humans.